All right, so today we're diving into The Outsiders,
Ooh,
a classic story
yeah,
that I think a lot of people are probably familiar with by S.E. Hinton.
a classic.
It's about these two rival gangs
Mm-hmm.
in 1960s Oklahoma,
Yeah.
the Greasers and the Socs.
The socks.
And, we've gotten a lot of requests to cover this one.
Yes, we have.
So we're going to do like a chapter-by-chapter summary
I love it.
and really just focus on, what actually happens in the story.
Yes, because it's a quick read, but it packs a lot in there.
Yeah.
A lot of themes of loyalty and class conflict and identity.
Absolutely.
Really powerful stuff.
So let's jump right into chapter 1.
Okay.
So we're introduced to our narrator, Ponyboy Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 14-year-old greaser,
Okay.
and he's walking home alone from the movies when he gets jumped by these Socs.
Oh, no.
And
Right away, you're just plunged right into this world, right?
yeah,
He's outnumbered. He's
Yeah.
vulnerable.
yeah,
It's dangerous being a greaser in this town.
yeah. And thankfully, his brothers Derry and Soda Pop
Yeah.
show up with the rest of the gang to chase the Socs off.
The gang is so important right from the start.
Yeah.
It's family, it's support, it's safety.
Yeah. So chapter 2 introduces us to the rest of this gang.
Okay.
So you've got Johnny, who's kind of the quiet, sensitive one,
Mm-hmm.
almost like a little brother to Ponyboy.
Yeah,
Then you got Dally, the tough, rebellious one
of course.
with a criminal record,
Right.
and some other guys who round out this tight-knit group.
And it's more than just protection, you know?
Yeah.
It's camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's shared experience,
Yeah.
understanding what it's like to be a greaser when everyone looks down on you.
Exactly. And chapter 2 also introduces us to some sock girls,
Ooh.
Cherry and Marcia.
Okay.
Ponyboy and Johnny meet them at the drive-in.
Interesting.
And it's kind of this first time where we see that maybe
Yeah.
these two groups aren't so different after all.
Right.
Like there's some common ground.
I mean, Cherry really challenges Ponyboy's assumptions
Yeah.
about what it means to be a sock.
Yeah.
She knows she's got privilege,
Right.
but she says money doesn't solve everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she even talks about seeing a certain kind of beauty in sunsets that her sock boyfriend just doesn't get.
Yep.
Which she connects with Ponyboy on.
I love that part.
Yeah.
And so that connection actually leads to some trouble in chapter 3.
Oh.
Cherry and Marcia's sock boyfriends show up.
Okay.
Things get out of hand.
Yeah.
There's a confrontation, a fight,
Right.
and Johnny ends up killing Bob, one of the Socs, in self-defense.
Oh, wow. So that's like a major turning point.
Huge.
Throws Johnny and Ponyboy into this whole new world.
Yeah.
They have to go into hiding with Dally's help.
Right. So in chapter 4,
Okay.
Dally sends them to this abandoned church
Okay.
out in Windricksville.
Mhm.
They cut their hair.
Trying to disappear.
Yeah. They try to blend in. And they just spend their days
Yeah.
reading Gone with the Wind.
That's so interesting. They're reading Gone with the Wind. Of
Yeah,
all things.
I know.
Like, what's the significance there?
Yeah. And just talking about life.
Yeah.
Trying to figure things out.
Right, because the church becomes this sanctuary, but also a
Mhm.
place where they really have to confront what they've done.
Yeah.
And you see how much it weighs on them.
Especially Johnny.
Yeah.
So in chapter 5, Dally comes back to visit.
Okay.
And he tells them there's going to be a rumble.
A rumble.
This big fight between the Greasers and the
To
Socs.
settle the score.
Yeah. And remember, Ponyboy and Johnny are still wanted
Oh, right.
for Bob's death.
Yeah.
So even if they wanted to stay hidden,
Mm.
their past is coming back to haunt them.
And that leads us to chapter 6.
Yes.
One of the most dramatic scenes.
The church catches fire,
Oh, my gosh.
and there's a group of kids trapped inside.
No.
Johnny and Ponyboy don't even hesitate.
Wow.
They run right in to save them.
That's so brave.
Yeah, so they become heroes. But we know there's always a price to pay
Right.
in this world.
Yeah.
So we'll have to find out what happens next in part 2.
Okay. I can't wait.
Welcome back. So we left off with Johnny and Ponyboy pulling off this heroic rescue, saving those kids from the burning church.
Right. But like you said, there's always a price to pay.
Right. What happened?
Well, Johnny, he doesn't come out of it. Okay. He ends up with a broken back and severe burns.
Oh, wow.
He's in critical condition.
That's rough.
Yeah. It's a reminder that even doing the right thing can have some pretty terrible consequences.
Totally. And what about Dally? I mean, how is he taking all of this?
Well, you know, Dally, he's got this tough guy act.
Yeah.
But deep down, he cares about Johnny a lot.
Okay.
Like a younger brother.
Hmm.
And he sees himself in Johnny's vulnerabilities. So seeing him hurt like this
Right.
really shakes Dally.
So chapter 7 really gets into the aftermath of the fire.
Yeah,
Ponyboy's dealing with the trauma.
of course.
He's in the hospital, too.
Oh, right, with the burns.
Yeah, burns and
Yeah.
smoke inhalation.
And plus he's worried about facing juvenile court.
Yeah, for Bob's death.
Right. So he's got a lot going on.
He does. And in the middle of all of this,
Yeah.
the public perception of him and Johnny changes.
Oh, really? How so?
Yeah. They go from being seen as these delinquents
Right.
to heroes.
Because of the fire.
Exactly. The newspapers are praising their bravery.
Wow.
People see them in this whole new light.
That's wild. I mean, it makes you think about,
Yeah.
how easily public opinion can shift based on like one event.
For sure.
Okay, so the big showdown is still on the horizon.
It is.
What happens leading up to it?
Well, in Chapter 8, things are really tense.
Okay.
Between the greasers and the Socs. Everyone knows Johnny's not doing well.
Yeah.
So Dally does something pretty crazy.
What does he do?
He breaks Johnny out of the hospital
He does.
so they can all be together
Wow.
for the Rumble.
Why would he risk that?
I think for Dally, it's about loyalty
Okay.
and desperation.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to lose Johnny. So Chapter 9, the Rumble.
The Rumble. It's intense.
Yeah,
A
bad.
brutal fight.
I can imagine.
The greasers win,
They do?
but it's a hollow victory
Why?
because Johnny's dying in the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah.
And his last words to Ponyboy are, "Stay gold."
Wow. So powerful.
It's a message that really sticks with you.
Yeah. And what about Dally?
Dally can't handle losing Johnny.
Oh, no.
He completely robs a grocery store,
Really?
gets cornered by the police. It ends tragically.
So both Johnny and Dally are gone?
It's devastating for Ponyboy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He's just overwhelmed with grief.
Chapter 11 is the juvenile court hearing, right?
It is. Ponyboy has to face the music, but thankfully the judge is lenient.
Right.
He gets to stay with his brothers.
That's good.
But even with that good news,
Yeah.
Ponyboy is struggling. His
Huh.
grades are slipping. He's withdrawn.
Yeah.
And there's this tension between him and Derry.
Right, because they've always had a complicated relationship.
Yeah. And it all comes to a head in Chapter 12.
What happens?
Soda Pop. He's caught in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
He just breaks down.
Oh, no.
He can't take their fighting anymore.
Yeah.
He makes them see how much it's hurting him.
So this is a turning point.
It is for Ponyboy. He finally starts to understand Derry,
Yeah.
how much he loves him and the sacrifices he's made.
I mean, it's a lot for a 14-year-old to go through.
It really is, but he comes out of it stronger.
How does he deal with all of this grief?
He finds comfort in writing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his English teacher gives him this assignment to write a theme.
Okay.
And he decides to tell the story of the greasers,
Wow.
of Johnny and Dally and everything they've been through.
That's amazing. So he's using writing as a way to
To heal, to
Yeah.
process his grief.
honor his friends.
Exactly. And you know what? The story he's writing is The Outsiders.
Whoa, wait, so the book we're reading,
Is the story Ponyboy writes.
that's so meta.
It is. It makes you think about the power of storytelling.
Right, and we're not just reading this passively.
Yeah.
We're engaging with Ponyboy's way of making sense of the world.
Exactly. It adds this whole other layer to the experience.
Okay, so we're getting to the end here.
We are in the final chapters. Ponyboy rereads the letter.
Oh, the letter from Johnny.
Yeah, the one he wrote when they were hiding out in the church.
What did you say again?
Johnny tells Ponyboy to stay gold,
Right.
to hold on to his innocence and goodness
Yeah,
despite everything he's seen.
that's such a powerful message.
And he talks about the sunset.
Yeah.
How it's something that both greasers and Socs can appreciate.
Right.
It's this reminder that even though they're different,
They're connected.
yeah, by something bigger than themselves.
So that brings us to the end of The Outsiders.
It does.
What are some final thoughts you want to leave our listener with? It's a powerful message to end on, stay gold.
Yeah, it's about holding on to hope, even when things are tough.
Exactly. Even when you're surrounded by darkness.
Yeah, and that's really what the book is all about, right? It's
Yeah.
finding the light in the darkness and connection when everything feels divided.
And how to be resilient.
Exactly.
It's like no matter what life throws at you,
Yeah,
there's always something worth fighting for.
right. There's always something worth staying gold for.
And I think that message really resonates with people,
Oh, tough.
no matter how old they are
Mm-hmm.
or where they come from.
What I love is that Hinton really captures
Yeah.
how intense it is to be a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
all those big emotions.
Yeah.
And then you add in the social issues, the class conflict.
Yeah,
It's a timeless story.
absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to ask you,
Okay.
what does stay gold mean to you?
That's a good question.
Yeah. What are those things in your life that you hold on to
Yeah.
that help you get through the tough times?
It's something to think about.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm.
And on The Outsiders in general,
This book really makes you look past labels and stereotypes and see each other's humanity.
Yeah.
And remember that even when things are bad, there's always hope.
There's always a reason to stay gold.
Exactly.